So what do you think? Bruno wipes off pretty easily, huh?
Like, too easily. It's like I did it wrong.
Well, you almost think that because it wipes off so easily, like you said, that maybe you did something incorrectly. Well, when you're working with a high-quality graphene paint sealant, it does wipe off like there's virtually nothing there.
I mean, I've done it before where I waxed a vehicle or polished a vehicle, and I felt like my shoulder was going to go out because you had to put so much effort because I couldn't get it to come off.
Yeah, it's like wiping off concrete, but this is like wiping off butter. I mean, there's nothing to it, and it leaves the paint super slick too. So, and there's also
awesome.
there's a technique too when you're wiping it off, Bruno, which clearly you have down pat. You want to have the towel folded 4 ways.
Okay.
A lot of people mistakenly take the towel like this, they grab it off there, and they go like that. That's not effective.
Yeah.
And also at this point, I mean, you have a brand new car. We have a high quality sealant on it. We've done some work to it. The last thing we want to do is scratch the paint as we wipe the wax off or the sealant. So it's good practice to take your towel, use your eyeballs and look at it, and also use your hands.
Oh, to feel for anything stuck to it.
Feel for anything, yeah. So if you have a workbench, you know, and something gets stuck to a little piece of metal, or you'll scratch the heck out of the car.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I would cry.
Yeah, you would. But I have something to fix that, though. But that's for another episode. So at this point, Bruno, technically, the paint is sealed. If you maintain it properly, it'll actually stay like this for at least a year.
So the whole idea with the sealant is to protect the paint and hold a shine to it? Is that what it's all about?
So it protects the paint, gives it UV protection, makes it really glossy, makes it really slick. But there's a lot of guys like yourself or like me that we actually enjoy working on our cars.
Oh, for sure.
So if you want to go out into the garage and touch your car, because at this point you might think, well, there's nothing left to do because it's protected for a year, and then, but you find it therapeutic to actually work on the car, right?
Well, especially when you talk about like a German car like this. I mean, it's brand new. Basically, you can, if you had the skill set to mechanically, you can't work on them because you've got to have the right scanner tool, the right everything. You don't even want to check the oil. They don't even put a dipstick anymore to check the oil level. They do that for a reason because they want you to bring it to the dealership to work on it. So there really isn't much you can do from a mechanical standpoint on a foreign car or even a new car these days. So it's like I feel like when I can wax it, when I can polish it, at least I'm doing something. It's like, you know, I'm having a little fun and I'm taking a little pride in my vehicle.
Well, you're in luck. So if you're like me and you're a car guy, whoever's watching, or a car gal, you can actually apply a high quality finishing wax. That's the key word, a finishing wax, to the paint afterwards without compromising the sealant. And
so will this take it up to the next level in terms of the shine and protection?
So it sure will, yeah. And when I say finishing wax, what I mean is not necessarily the name of a product, but a type of wax where it does not have any cleaners or abrasives.
Okay.
Because if it had either one of those, it would actually remove the sealant that's on there. So I like to use a ceramic finishing wax, and the reason why is because we've applied a graphene coating. The last thing I want to do is work backwards and use a really inexpensive old can of wax that's hard to wipe off. So this is actually infused with ceramic particles, and there's a lot of choices in the market. This one is an SiO2 formula. It goes on whisper thin.
What does the SiO2 mean?
So it's silicon dioxide.
Okay.
So, and that actually bonds to the sealant, and it makes it glossier, it makes it slicker, and it's something for you to do as a car guy.
So it's a little different than the old tin that's half rusted closed with the Simonized. My dad's probably still got sitting back at the shop.
That's probably got those shoulders from wiping that stuff off, right? You don't even have to go to the gym.
It'll wear you out, man.
You know, but this wipes off easily.
It's a workout in a jar.
Yeah, but this is much easier. So this one jar will do this Audi 30 times.
Wow.
So cost per application, it's dollars, if that. So if you want to go out in the garage and you want to actually wax the car, something like this is a great option.
And it's a whole lot cheaper than therapy, right? I mean, this is therapeutic to kind of get some of the demons out a little bit.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, 150 bucks an hour for a therapist, or, you know, 100 bucks for a good quality jar of
Yours is 150. I need to go to yours.
Well, I pay cash.
Oh, okay. Say, cash is king.
Now, I'll tell you, so you can see how thin this spreads. Like I mentioned, this one jar will do this car 30 times. You know, earlier you were asking me about different quality of waxes, different price points. One observation you'll make with this is that it smells really, really delectable.
Nice.
It's almost like you're in a bakery, right? So when you buy an inexpensive wax, oftentimes, Bruno, it has very inexpensive solvents. They're often petroleum-based. They smell terrible. And if you get some on your skin, it dries your skin out.
Ooh.
Some people will cause them to break out. A higher quality wax like this, like a Krystal diamond ceramic wax, doesn't do any of that.
Okay.
It's all higher quality ingredients.
So when it comes to the application, what is the technique? Does it matter?
So you can apply circular, or you can apply in a straight line. I always like to showcase working by machine, as you know.
Right.
You know, I'm a tool guy. I like to use machines when I have them. And people are often surprised. They say, well, how can you apply a paste wax by machine? With this, you can. So this pad actually fits perfectly in that jar.
Oh, nice. It's like somebody had A little foresight with that, huh?
So applying it by machine, Bruno, speeds things up considerably, and it also makes for a more uniform coat, so very easy.
So now all you have to do is the whole car, right?
Yeah, so we can wax the whole car, and then we can stick a fork in it, we're finished.
So it comes down to washing it, it comes down to claying it, you've got to prep it, and then wax it.
Well, put the sealant on before the wax. Yeah.
Okay,
The sealant is what really protects the paint. The wax is the icing on the cake.
Gotcha.
So it's optional, but again, if you want some therapy out in the garage by yourself or with your kids, it's fast, it's friendly, and it's enjoyable.
Love it.
You know. So Bruno, I appreciate you stopping by. We'll get to work finishing the rest of the car. We can't give it back with just the hood waxed. You know.
You sure?
I'm sure. Yeah, this person will notice. So, thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for future episodes where we cover other aspects of new car care.